Now, where does this nickname The Man come from? What's the story behind this?
Well, in your sport, right?
Yeah.
The top guy, what's he called?
Probably call The Man. I don't know.
Right. Like they're like, oh, he's the man. You're the man.
You're the top dog in your
Yeah,
sport.
yeah. I'm the top dog in my sport.
So you're the fucking man.
I'm the fucking man.
I fucking dig it.
I dig it too.
Welcome to Games with Names. I'm Julian Edelman. They're Jack and Kyler, and we're on the mission to find the greatest game of all time. On today's episode, we are covering WrestleMania 35 with one of the greatest women's WWE stars. They call her the Man, Becky Lynch. She was awesome. You guys will hear Jack and I trying to do some crazy things.
The Macho Brothers.
We get into talking her infatuation with NFL gossip.
So I've been getting into football, but mostly for the gossip. It's just like men's gossip, isn't it? Like,
And behind the scenes of WrestleMania 35.
Main event, baby.
I was totally concussed out of my mind. I had like blood dripping down my face. I was still carrying on.
And we wrap it up by reading some of your podcast reviews.
Some nice and some not so nice.
Yeah.
So you got to stick around till the end and get ready. Lego.
Yeah.
Games with Names is a production of iHeartRadio.
April 7th, 2019, MetLife Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey.
3 superstars, 2 belts, 1 ring.
And the first pin wins it all. Yeah.
This is WrestleMania.
Is WrestleMania
35.
Oh, yeah, we're here now.
If you could just do the podcast in that voice the entire time.
Welcome to Games with Names with Becky Lynch, and we're here to discuss WrestleMania 35. Can you tell us why you picked this game, Becky?
That's great.
You don't have to say that. You
That
can
was
say
great,
that
brother.
Was bad.
That's how you cut a promo.
That was incredible.
Jack, what do you got?
Oh, yeah, brother. We're talking to the man today, but there can only be one man, and that's the Macho Man. Yeah. Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
This is amazing.
How are our promo skills, Becky?
Fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, A+,
Yes.
100%, top of the class.
That was like
lad.
my first question I wanted to ask you is what goes into a great promo?
Oh, I mean, now you're asking questions.
We'll save it for
Now
later.
you're
We'll save
asking
it for
questions.
later.
A good story, I suppose.
There you go.
And then, pitch, tone, all that kind of stuff. A little bit of melody,
I just pretend to be Macho Man Randy Savage the whole time.
That's great. And that, also that.
Heck yeah.
Cream rises to the top. Cup of
No,
coffee.
welcome to Games with Names. That's Jack. That's Kyler. I'm Julian. And today we are looking at WrestleMania 35. Why we picked this match, Becky?
Because this is the first time women ever main evented WrestleMania.
Let's
in
fucking
the
go, baby!
35 years.
Let's go!
That's what I'm talking about.
35 years. And this girl, this one, who once failed PE, that's me, also me,
Becky.
won two belts.
Two
Gave
belts?
Becky 2 belts.
What is the
WrestleMania
Raw and the
35.
countdown?
The huh?
What were the belts?
SmackDown?
SmackDown.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Yes, the Raw and SmackDown titles. And, at one point I told a friend, I said, I'm going to main event WrestleMania. He said, it's nice to have dreams, but be realistic. And he wasn't being mean, He wasn't even being mean. He was just being like, women are never going to main event WrestleMania.
Well,
And I did it.
You proved him wrong.
Yeah.
You proved him wrong.
We did it.
You did it, and so did Rhonda, and Flair did it as well. But you came out on top. It was a fun watch.
I did. And the thing that meant so much to me about this was, we were in the time of the women's evolution, the revolution, and everything was historical. We were changing the game left, right, and center. But the story here was the most interesting story at the time. And I didn't want any sort of a token gesture of we're going to have a historical women's main event for the sake of history. I wanted it to be because there is no other option to close out the show. And we got there.
And you definitely got there. And we'll get into the match and the suspension and the lead up and everything. But first, is this the greatest match of all time?
No.
We had to ask.
We gotta ask
We
everybody.
ask all our guests.
Yeah,
In your opinion, what is?
I'd like to say yeah, but it wasn't. No, it's not even the best match I think I had that year. But it was a historical match.
Fuck yeah, it was.
And one of the most
baby.
historical matches and one of the most important matches of all time. So I'll say that.
In East Rutherford, I've played in that stadium. It gets rocking, sold out. You got the city line in the background. You got Flair coming in a helicopter. It was a fucking spectacle. And I grew up watching WWE. I had a lot of fun watching this, and it brought me back to a lot of my childhood memories because, wrestling was, I was just during that Stone Cold era. My brother, who was 7 years older than me, was like super Macho Man, Randy Savage, Ultimate Warrior, Hulk. I was more in that like NWO, X-Pac, and D-Generation X, Stone Cold, Rock Stage, and everyone has their memory of wrestling, and it's really an honor to have you here. So what's life looking like now?
Oh, it's great.
Yeah?
It's great.
What's
yeah.
great?
Yeah, it's great. Everything's great.
Yeah.
I got my wonderful little family.
Yeah.
I've many options on the table, and I get to for the first time in a long time take a bit of a breath to appreciate everything. Because when you're on the road 52 weeks a year, non-stop, going from town to town, and then in the last 3 years, I added to the chaos by having a daughter who I would bring everywhere with me. And then on top of that, I decided it would be good to write my biography. So it was really, for the especially last year, 2 years, pure chaos. And now I'm taking a little bit more time. I'm taking a breath. I'm getting to look around the world, getting to look at what I created and evaluate everything. And it's been wonderful. People don't realize when you're in the heat of what you're trying to accomplish. And I look back on my career, and I never really appreciated it. No, you never do.
Yeah, because you're always on to the next. And I can only imagine with you guys with 52 weeks of travel and how rigorous your schedule is and how rigorous it is to keep your body in shape and all that. Like, we were in a different avenue of that, being an athlete. Because you guys, I see some of these fucking hits that you guys take, and regardless of what you think this shit is, like when you kicked freaking Ronda Rousey and she hits her back of her head, and regardless of, like, that's brutal, and it's got to feel like a car wreck, and you're dealing with the body, and it just feels like you don't get to appreciate it. It's awesome that you have a time right now where you're appreciating what you did, because we were looking back and reading back on your stories, and you were a flight attendant, you had your dream, you went to acting school. Like, what inspired you to go down this road?
Which road?
The wrestling road.
Oh, the wrestling road. Well, originally.
Let's see original.
So originally, I was a wrestling fan growing up, and
Who's your wrestlers?
Mick Foley was my big one.
Nice.
Mick Foley was the one. So what I was when
Mick Foley's Mankind, right?
Yeah.
With the puppet.
too.
Yeah.
I liked him too. I always knew him as Mankind. Then he took the mask off and became Mick
Foley, Cactus Jack.
Cactus
You
Jack.
remember?
Yeah.
Dude, yeah. And so I was a fan growing up. I have an older brother, so anything that he watched, I watched, and anything he did, I wanted to do and annoy the bejesus out of him. But so when we were little kids, we were watching wrestling. Macho Man, Hulk Hogan, whatever. And then we both fell out of it. And then when I was around 12, he started watching it again.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh, don't you know that stuff's all fake? That's for babies. And just like the worst. And he was like, no, it's gotten really good actually, yeah. And so I'd be like, yeah, whatever. And then Mick Foley would come on and he'd cut these promos and the way he talked, and I just be like, oh, that stuff sucks. Just kind of like side eyeing it, And then it got to the point where I was like, okay, well, let me know when Mick Foley's on. So then I would come and then I'd watch him, and then I was hooked, and then I was back in. And then, but at the time, it was like a little rough time in my childhood. and my parents who had separated when I was like 1, but they lived. Anyway, it was a complicated story.
Family. We all got it.
Family.
Yeah.
And we were going through some stuff, and then I was up to no good. I was like drinking, I was smoking, I was getting into all sorts.
Little devil's lettuce.
Little devil's lettuce.
Grandpa's old cough medicine.
a lot of devil's lettuce was consumed in the back of my secondary school, and
That could be high school. Could be high school, folks.
high school.
High school?
High school, or
Hey.
would it mean middle school at that stage? I still don't know your terms. But and then then I was getting ready for my junior cert. Now you guys, I don't think have a junior cert. But like our junior cert is the thing that prepares us for the leaving cert, which you also don't have.
What is that?
So you have no idea what I'm talking about.
Zero. What's that?
So the junior cert is a set of exams you do in your 3rd year of, which maybe the end of your middle school. I don't know how to explain it.
So it's like exit exams.
Well, no, that's the leaving cert. But the junior cert is supposed to prepare you for the leaving cert. And the leaving cert is supposed to determine your future.
So it's like the SAT.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know, I did terribly on those.
Oh.
What?
Oh.
Yeah.
That's shocking.
And look at you now.
I'm about to come over there. You better hold me back, Becky. Or I'm gonna get back. I'm gonna get him.
I ain't holding nobody back. I want to see a show.
No. So McFoley, Mankind.
Yeah.
Is
So
it the
I'm sorry.
Irish
Anyway,
name also.
no. It was just him, man. It was just the way he talked and his ability to cut a promo. And you asked what makes a good promo, Mick Foley, you know. But his ability to craft the story and the unusual texture to his voice, everything about him, and how sympathetic he was too. And then, so anyway, I was doing terribly in school, and I realized that I should probably get my act together. And of course, the way to get my act together would be to start professional wrestling, of course, you know, natural course of decisions. So I went down to this school that was an hour away from me. And,
In Ireland.
In Ireland.
Now, where in Ireland? We like near Dublin or something?
So I lived in Dublin. This was in Bray, County Wicklow, which is just outside of Dublin.
Just outside.
Yeah. And a young man called Fergal Devitt was running this school.
Fergal what?
Fergal Devitt.
Is his name?
That's his name.
Sounds like a Lord of the Rings name.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's a cool name.
You may know him in WWE as Finn Balor.
Yes.
Yeah. So Fergal was running this school, and so I showed up on the first date, lied about my age, had to be 16. I was only 15.
15.
Said I was 17. Genius move.
Yeah, you shoot for the star, you land
Yeah.
and we're good.
Yeah, genius move. And so they let me in. They didn't even ask for ID or nothing. And so and I was terrible at everything. I had failed PE. I was awful. And I was the most unathletic thing in the world. Probably still am. But for the first time in my life, I wanted to be good at something. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. This is awesome. We didn't even have a ring. We just had 6 blue padded mats. And there was also this sense of community, because wrestling's like a bit of a family, you know. I think it often attracts the oddballs and the misfits, you know what I mean? And they're my people, you know. Yeah. And so now I had a people, you know, and this want to get better at something, and then, you know, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So I started getting better at school and you know.
Getting confident.
Yeah.
You're gaining confidence through preparation.
Confidence. Yeah. Never had any of that.
Yeah. Setting
and
a
all
goal.
of a sudden I did. Yeah. And like at 15, then I was heading off to England and I was training over there and I would tour around England. And then when I was 17, I was off in college. And I dropped out. I was studying history, politics, and philosophy, and I just had no interest in going into school. I just wanted to go to the gym. They had a great free gym that I'd use. And so then I dropped out of college. I moved off to Canada, started wrestling around Canada, started wrestling around America. Eventually was taken over to Japan, started wrestling there at 18. And just kind of like making a little name for myself on the independent circuit. Yeah. And then when I was 19, then, you know, things were looking up, you know, I was doing well, but my visa ran out in Canada. And then I had to go home and live with my mom. And
Back in Ireland.
Back in Ireland.
So Canada, Ireland, UK, college, dropped out, Canada.
Ireland college.
Ireland
college. Yeah.
Don't want to go down that road.
Gets dicey, you know.
I know
It's
religious
just,
warfare.
It's just in the bones, you know. Potatoes.
I lie. When was the moment you felt like you could make this a career?
This is a tricky story because when I was like 17, you know, I just teamed with my brother. My brother was wrestling too. And I just teamed with him. I played the heel for the first time in this little hall in Kildare in Ireland in front of like 50 people. And I was like, damn, I'm good. I wasn't, but I thought I was.
What made you feel that when you felt that feeling? Did you do a move, or was the crowd reacting away to you?
The crowd was reacting.
They were
to me.
getting pissed at you.
Yeah,
she was the heel.
I think there was, and this has been the thing that's kind of allowed me, despite many of my shortcomings, is I've been able to somehow garner a connection with the crowd. I don't know what that is. And whatever that was, it kind of really kicked off in this night in Kildare. Or at least I could feel it. I could feel that there was something that I could give to this industry, to this business. I was like, I want to do it. I want to be a pro wrestler. Because before, it seemed like too much of a pipe dream for this Irish girl to become a wrestler in WWE or anywhere in the world. Like, who did I think that I was? You know? Who did I think that I was, that I could make it, you know? And then at 17, I was like, I'm Rebecca fucking Quinn. I can make it, you know?
Yeah.
And then
Sorry, I'm getting hyped up over here. I'm getting jazzed up. Sorry.
About to run through that goddamn glass door over there.
and then I came back after taking my year off of college, and I ended up back at home with my mom going, what's your plan? What's your plan? What's your plan? What are you going to do? What's your plan? What are you going to do? You're going to go back to college? You're going to get a real job? What are you going to do? And I just didn't, I was like, there's no, I can't tell you what the road is going to be, because anything that you would look at on TV, I can't say I want to do that. You know, you're looking at the time, the women weren't, you know, treated as the athletes and stars that we are today.
What year is this?
This is 2006, you know, and there was still a lot of, you know, pillow fights and all that kind of jazz and bra and panties matches, and ain't nobody
More
wants
as a
to
prop.
see me do that. Yeah.
More as a prop.
Yeah.
They weren't getting into it as much.
No. And
This is like that, because that was like the end of when I stopped watching. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That era.
Yeah. And it was just that kind of, they weren't really taken seriously. There's certainly nobody was eyeballing them to main event really much, if anything. And so I couldn't say, well, that's what I want to do on TV. That, you see what I was looking at, what I wanted to do was these obscure promotions in Japan where the women were better than any man that I'd ever seen, and they were kicking the shit out of each other. And but I also couldn't show my ma that, you know. She's like, what is this? You're gonna make money over there? What if you get hurt? And then my mom doesn't sound like this, by the way.
I was about to say, mom sounded kind of American. Mom didn't have the Irish accent. What was that?
I don't know.
I was sitting there. I was like, did she turn it off?
I just have my mom voice anyway. So anyway, then I was in a match in Germany that I ended up getting hurt, and I came back and I had this gash over my eye and I had these stitches, and I walk into the house with a hat on and sunglasses on. My mom's like, what are you doing? Why are you wearing those sunglasses? And she yanked them off my face, and she was like, oh my God, you could have lost an eye. And don't know that I could have, but
Could have.
Maybe I could have. Maybe I could have. Yeah, vicious eye poke. Very illegal in the world of professional wrestling.
Should be.
Yeah.
But who used to do it all the time? Someone used
Every
to do it.
heel.
Yeah, every
Yeah.
fucking heel gives you that.
Every heel that's ever existed.
How many have
Yeah.
you given over here?
Not too many.
Not too many.
Not too many.
All right,
Have
all right.
mostly a career-long babyface. With a little stint
I
here
mean,
and
you
there.
gotta give a little.
Little stint
Little
here and there.
stint here and there.
Really, my favorite stint being a heel. Anyway, the point is, then that's it's such a long, convoluted story. But at that point, I had decided that I was going to move to Orlando to do a personal training diploma, because then I'd have a plan, like my mom had asked, and I'd be in Orlando where they were filming TNA, which was the rival promotion at the time.
Florida is like the headquarters of all the wrestlers.
Yes. Yeah. Lots of them live there.
Yeah.
Work on their tan, brother. Yeah. Which actually, by the way, I've got a little bit of one right now. Nobody said anything.
You got some color there, girl.
Yeah. I think people didn't think it was possible, and I proved them wrong.
You know,
not only did I main event
just
WrestleMania,
proved
but I
people
also
wrong.
got a tan.
You're proving
Yeah.
people wrong.
Left, right, and center.
While we're on tan talk, how does Sheamus stay so white? Is there like an anti-tan thing he can do?
I don't think it's possible for that man to get any bit of color. God bless him. We love the fella. We love the fella.
Q-tip.
What a lad. What a lad. I've been listening to his entrance music a lot lately.
No way.
So many lives. It's just so good, you know? Anyway.
Shout out Sheamus.
Shout out Sheamus and his Cybertruck.
Oh,
and his
he's a
Cybertruck.
Cybertruck guy?
He's a
I should've known.
Cybertruck guy.
I should have known.
Yeah.
Cybertruck?
Yeah.
I call it the Halo truck.
Why?
It looks
Oh, it does. It
Video
does
game.
a little bit.
I used to play
yeah.
Halo. It
Yeah,
looks
yeah.
like the same damn thing.
Yeah. Yeah. You can go camping with it, right? Like you can set up a tent in the back or something.
Yeah, but like
You know?
the only thing, and we're gonna get a little off topic because
Great.
I have an SUV. I have an electric car and an SUV that's a gas car, and I tried bringing my electric car on like a road trip. You can't do it. So like
No.
if you're camping, you're limited to like 180 miles away from where you live, and there's gonna be no charge station there. So how are you gonna do it in the Tesla truck? I know it says 350, but my thing says 350, and you're getting about 260 out of that thing. Especially with the way you drive, and you got a whole stuff. You probably got bikes. You got stuff in the back, coolers that are heavy. You know, you got a couple tents. You know, it's fucking bullshit. I'm sorry. So mom, you were telling mom.
So you're not going to go camping with your Cybertruck.
Yeah, you
That's what
can't
you're
go
saying.
camping with I mean, it looks great. I got a Tesla. I think Tesla's awesome, but until we got like a 1,000-mile battery.
Or
Yeah,
solar
but I
panels?
mean, why do you got to go so far?
Because if you're camping, you want to
Well-
get out in the nature.
Yeah, but you know what counts as nature? You know
I mean,
what counts as nature?
it's kind. I mean, if you want to be a poser camper, you can go like 20 minutes out of.
Great.
But I want to go to like
That's what we're
Yosemite.
talking about.
I want to explore the nitty gritty of what the United States of America has to give you, and all these dead spots where you can't get gas, you can't get electricity, you can get lost up and see some beautiful like trees and. That's what
But they give you all the superchargers along the way.
they
you know?
could.
Yeah. Surely there's a route.
Fucking Sheamus.
Fella. The fella. I love the fella.
So mom
great.
sees
Anyway.
black guy, and
The
When-
stitches and then
in the moment.
yeah, and so and I don't know what I'm doing. I'm lost. I'm all over the place. I'm like I don't know. I'm 19. It's not happening for me yet, you know? And I'm like, well, maybe it'll never happen. Maybe I'm too old. Maybe I need to get a real job. Stop all this kid stuff. And so I end up on a flight to Florida, and I stop through New York, and I call my mom, and I'm like, Mom, I'm sorry, I just want to come home. I just want to come home. I'll give it all up. I'll find a real job. I'll be normal. I'll settle down. And she's like, No, you can't come home.
Mom was the
She
shoulder.
was like, no. She was like,
she's the one to say, "Hey, get your ass in gear."
yeah. She was like, you've been
Fucking go.
giving up on everything. You gotta get your act together. And so I end up going to Florida and doing a personal training diploma and not wrestling, and then came home and then didn't know what to do. And she was a flight attendant for 29 years. She asked if I wanted her to hand in my resume. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I said, sure. So then I ended up as a flight attendant. didn't like flight attending, and was longing for that passion that I felt for wrestling, but felt like I couldn't do wrestling. Like I had at this stage burnt bridges and all stuff and lost my way. And so I ended up going to acting school, and I studied in Dublin and then in Chicago. And then when I was finished with that, then I was trying to get acting work all over the place. And I ended up handing in my headshot and resume to the Vikings that were filming in Ireland at the time. And like they must have taken it and just...
The show?
Yeah. And they were like, oh, a stunt woman. Because I had all this physical experience and not much acting experience other than college. And so then the stunt guild called me and they're like, oh, hey, are you a stunt woman? I'm like, yeah, of course, that's me. And had no idea what I was doing. So then I was like, okay, well, let me go down to a wrestling school because I knew what I was doing there. And if I apply that confidence, then they won't be any the wiser because I'll be confident, I'll just fake it till I make it. And so I did that. But then when I went to the wrestling school, the guy that was teaching the wrestling class had just gotten signed to NXT. And then he was like, oh, do you want to get a tryout? Because I think you'd get it. I think you'd get into WWE. And I had all these plans. I was going to go back to New York. I'd lived in New York for a stint. And I was going to, try to get theater work. And once he said that, I was like, oh, no. I gotta give this a shot because my life I won't be able to progress because in all the time, which it ended up being 7 years between when I busted my eye open to when I was in WWE, 7 years without wrestling, the whole time was just this feeling that I had left this thing that I had a gift for and that I was meant to do some more and that I was supposed to. I had all these notions about myself being great in wrestling and changing the game and stuff, which allegedly were true because I did.
Yeah, no, I can fully relate to being the underdog. That confidence that you built in yourself, that underdog mentality. I mean, that sounds like it fueled your career. You believed in yourself, and it's funny because
well, actually, kind of not.
Why?
Well, because
your mom kicked you into gear, made you believe in yourself, then you kept
no. Then I was like, oh, well, I did believe in myself. But then what I was doing was wrong, clearly, because now I'm in this state where I'm confused and I'm lost. So now I doubt myself. And now I'm like, oh, everybody else has the answers. Please tell me, other people, how I'm supposed to get places in life because I don't trust myself anymore. And so I think that I've always had this this weird sense of confidence and just crippling self-doubt. Like in almost equal measures, that's helped,
Yeah.
You don't get too cocky,
I understand.
Because there's always that devil on your shoulder going, you suck. You're the worst.
It sounds very similar to being like Jewish. You always think
Irish
the sky is falling at all times, and you think that way because you're trying to prepare yourself even if your life's at the best, because and then all of a sudden, you're having a great time, great part of your life, and then something happens because there's always some bit of adversity or some problem that always you have to overcome to have growth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just I 100% relate to that because it's like an insecurity where you never want to get too high because the moment you feel like you're too high, you feel like it'll get swept away from you in some form or fashion.
Yeah.
So that insecurity fuels you to work even harder, even if you're success at a certain level, because you're so appreciative of where you've gotten in your career. You don't want to do anything to jeopardize that.
Yeah.
So you keep working, and you keep working. Something like that.
Yes, 100%.
That's exactly how I felt.
Yeah.
In my career,
How did you manage the off seasons?
Through preparations.
Okay, so that was never like an off season.
No, the off seasons where you got your gains. So that's where, because in the NFL, you can never be the same guy each year. You need to bring something new every year because even if you had a really successful year, that off season, there's 31 teams that are game planning on how to make you worse. And so if you don't evolve your game, bring something new to your game and stay stagnant with your game, Now that can go into so many different forms of fashions, techniques, getting in and out of breaks, explosiveness, route running, route techniques, all those types of things. Then you're going to get bottled up, and that's when they try to replace you. So, you know, I 100% like understand that feeling it took for you to get to where you got.
Yeah.
And it's probably, did you love being like the heel?
Oh yeah.
Because I loved being a villain when I would come out, because I felt, you know, like you're going out, you're proving people wrong. You're proving what you know, I would always go and fucking do my little heel thing when I go to another stadium. I'd run 100 yards and I'd fucking fist pump over at the crowd. They'd be all booing and shit. I embraced it. You know, you go to New York City, you go to Buffalo, these people hated you, you know, but I fueled off that. Did you feel off being the heel?
Yeah.
And why?
Well, because you can do no wrong,
Yes.
right? Like, because you've got this freedom. It's when you're, what a burden to be liked by everybody. You know what I mean? Like
You put that standard on yourself. that
Yeah.
everyone, you know?
but that's your job.
Yeah.
Your job is to be the baby face, the good guy, to have people root for you. And so when you're the bad guy, like, great. You get to make people hate you, and that is your job. And so you can do no wrong. You can say whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. And inevitably, when you're doing that, you're having more fun. So then people start to like you. So then you become a baby face, but then you're saddled with them needing to like you. So then you're restricted, and then your freedom goes away. So then they start to boo you. So then you start having fun because then you're the heel, and then you can do no wrong. And then they start to cheer you again because you're having fun. And it's just this endless,
Hamster.
it's just this endless cycle.
Man.
Do you have any favorite like specific moments or things that you got to do while you were playing a heel?
Oh gosh. I really liked going to cut Bianca's hair, you know, but then she turned it around on me just because, like, we'd led up to that so much, and I think people really thought that it was going to happen, and they were so mad about it, you know, because Bianca has this cool, awesome braid that she's able to do just amazing things with.
Cut that shit right off.
Yeah. And but then she turned it around and then cut my hair off. And it was
Scissors
great.
in the ring is always fun. I like that. As
Yeah,
a prop.
and very scary. Very scary. Yeah. Because she was like KODing me way too close to them scissors, you know? Could have been very dangerous.
Don't run with
Coulda-
scissors.
coulda
Don't wrestle
lost
with
an eye.
scissors. Oh,
Could have lost an eye.
mom was right all along.
My mom was right all along.
Real quick before we go into our next segment, what's it like being married to another WWE star? Like, are you guys at home, like on an off night, like practicing moves on each other and stuff? Like, hey, on this DDT that I got to execute next week, like, can you come over here and like just fucking knock them around or what?
No. No, not really that. But like, I suppose there is so he's got a wrestling school in Iowa. And so like anytime when I was coming back
Big
from
wrestling area, like college
collegiate,
wrestling. Huge.
yeah. And don't really get many of them coming into the school.
Yeah.
No. Anyway, but yeah, so I get in with him and wrestle around with him, and you know, like he's amazing. He's just so good. That's just awesome. Like you couldn't get a better partner. And then he's just got such a great mind for it, and he's so smart. And then now this is just gonna end up in a whole tribute to how great Colby Lopez, aka Seth Rollins, is. But he's so awesome, and it's so great to be able to talk about wrestling or not talk about wrestling, and but really like run an idea. The one thing I think, the one issue we may run into is that like he's a no seller. Like he doesn't sell anything, right? Like so I'll be all hyped up about this idea that I have, and then this is gonna happen, and this is gonna happen, and isn't that the best thing you ever heard? And he'll be like, yeah, and then what? You know, and then a round of applause, please. You know, but yeah, no, it's the best. It's the best.
That's fucking awesome. Let's jump into the segment where we go back into time around April 7th, 2019, and we talk about pop culture. The number one movie was Shazam.
The remake.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Oh, the remake?
Yeah. The like the superhero.
Oh, the super. I was
Yeah.
thinking Kazam with
Oh
Shaq.
no. Yeah. I wish.
Remember
That'd
that?
be way better.
Kazam with Shaq. Did you ever watch that superhero? Are you a superhero movie person?
Nah, a little bit. Sorry.
Why are you laughing? Do you remember that movie, Koea?
It's got nothing to do with Shazam. It's got everything to do with the Old Town Road.
Oh, well, let's hear it.
Well, no, it's just,
Number one song, Old Town Road by Lil Nas X.
yeah. Well, this is just Dana Brooke, right? I love Dana Brooke, wrestler. She's now in TNA as Ash by Elegance, but remember when? Maybe they still do. Do people like film themselves singing songs?
Yeah.
You know, all sexy like.
Yeah.
You know, but she put up on Instagram her singing the song. Gonna take my horse to the hotel room. Why is she taking the horse to the hotel room? It's just for me, but it was just popped me.
It's a little different than my story. My 7-year-old daughter loves this song.
Great song.
Oh, every kid.
Oh God.
Man.
Fun for all ages.
Fun for all ages.
It does sound like hotel room. Anyway.
Yeah.
On a lighter note, Notre Dame burned down.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Irish Catholic.
Oof.
Irish
oh,
Catholic. They hit the
Gosh.
spot.
Nah.
I mean, Quasimodo.
That was a great movie, you know. The Hunchback Restaurant. But I wasn't. Nobody was hurt. Nobody was
but
injured in that.
I remember watching this. They had like 24-hour coverage. We'd be in the training room getting ready for practice, and we'd have this on. I'm like, oh my God, how'd they let this happen?
Yeah.
Old shit though. It's been there for a long time.
It's been there for a long time.
long time.
Long
Rebuilding,
time,
baby.
long time.
Rebuilding.
Rebuilding
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Are you a Game of Thrones person?
Oh my God.
Are you?
Yeah.
This was the Long Night episode debuts the longest battle ever screened, nearly 80 minutes. So you remember this scene?
So at
You
the
could
time,
be in you could
at-
be in
I was
one of
gonna
those
say
the
this
movies.
seems right up
Or
your alley. You should have been like. I feel like you should have been in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
100%.
A
You
missed
got the look.
opportunity. Game
And you
of
got an
Thrones
accent.
casters. Yeah, but there is House of the Dragon. So anyway, we didn't watch it. I didn't
House
watch
of
it.
Dragons.
I
House of
hadn't
Dragons.
watched it. So good.
Yes,
Have
Becky.
you been watching?
No, I haven't watched.
What?
Cameo. We need
It.
someone.
Came here, Becky to being.
Have
House
you
of
been
Dragons.
watching?
I haven't yet.
What?
I've watched House of Dragons. Yeah, it's great.
Oh my God, that
Although-
last episode.
I'm not current.
Oh,
because
okay.
he's been dragging. I'm so tired from all these shoots we've been doing. I like turned it on the other day, and it was like the recap of season 1, and it was so much that I was like, I put on old reruns of Seinfeld because I couldn't handle it.
You can't. Yeah,
I
you
want
gotta
to
really.
go back. I got to read season
gotta-
1 again to get back into it, but it's very good. I think better than the end of season of regular Game of Thrones.
Hot take.
Wait, the end of Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Like is in the season finale. That is in
the last couple of seasons of Game of Thrones, I think House of Dragons caught the magic of early Game of Thrones.
So you know what? I think you're wrong.
Okay, let's hear it.
Yeah. So going back to this, right?
Ooh,
I
she
wasn't
thinks you're
I
wrong.
wasn't watching it then.
Okay.
So pandemic hit. Now it's my time. Now it's my time to watch Game of Thrones.
Okay.
Right? So myself and the husband were at home and we just binge it. We go through every episode of Game of Thrones within like a 2-week period.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Digestion.
And the end was great. It made sense. It made sense because I had no preconceived notions. You know what I mean? I didn't have the
Okay.
time in between to like
chatter and the stuff.
hypothesize. Yeah, to investigate what could happen. You know? Like, of course Jon Snow isn't going to end up on the throne. Of course he's not. He already came back from the dead. He got one win. You know? He can't have all the wins.
Can't have them
It
all.
just made sense.
Can't have them all.
You know what I
Kyler.
mean?
Agree to disagree.
All right.
Becky, just to give you
right.
a little reference, he's a little bit of a film snob.
Okay.
You know, he went to the film school. He did all that. He's very,
Opinionated?
very.
Correct.
Yeah,
wouldn't say.
but are you correct?
Personally,
Or do you think
what is
or-
correct?
Yeah, there is no such thing. Maybe in math,
Yes.
science.
I don't know.
And in WrestleMania 35,
I don't know in math,
That was-
guys.
Well, that was the only outcome. Yeah, possible.
I heard there's a new theory
Go on.
that all the theories are wrong.
Go on.
Who
Saw it.
conducted
Galaxy
this
brain take.
theory?
I love
The
it.
Avengers game, Endgame came out. So you're superheroes.
Yeah.
Like you watch those.
Yeah.
I'm starting to go down them now with my kid, 7-year-old. She's starting we're started all the Iron Man. It's getting to a point where she's not too scared. So we're going down Iron Man. We're gonna do it chronologically. She doesn't want to watch Wonder Woman though. She'd rather watch I don't get it. I've been trying to put it on her. Hey, what about Wonder Woman?
What does she like?
She likes Iron Man.
Okay.
Likes the Spider-Man.
Tony Stark.
She likes what she likes.
I don't know how she watched that Spider-Man. The original one with the Green Goblin's pretty freaky.
Yeah,
With the mirror shit.
Does she like scary stuff?
She kind of does. She'll
Oh,
put her
yeah,
little.
yeah.
She'll go I probably shouldn't be showing a 7-year-old this shit, but yeah.
No, my daughter's the same way. Loves the scary stuff. Obsessed with zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we took her to Disneyland yesterday though. She didn't like the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates
Yeah,
of the Caribbean.
very upset when we went down the slide.
The slide?
Got splashed. Yeah, she's very upset by that.
Did she enjoy the
upset by that.
characters?
As in the other ones.
Just walking around and shit.
She dressed up as Jessie, and then she got to meet Jessie
Oh,
from Toy
yeah,
Story.
yeah,
So
yeah.
she loved that. But she loves the girls. She
Yeah.
calls girl, so she really likes any of the girl superheroes, a girl character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. I just brought my daughter to Magic Mountain, and she's 7 now, so she's just under 40 or 54 inches, but she's over 48, so she can go on 80% of the upside down rides.
Oh.
And I introduced them to her, and she was about it. She went on that Lex Luthor one. Have you been there? Lex Luthor's the drop one. It just drops. It's 46 stories. I was pretty proud of her. She was taking it like a champ and wanted to go more and more.
Wow.
That's fun when you start getting to bring the kids there.
Little adrenaline junkie.
Let's go, Lily.
What was life like for you in 2018? So you said 2006. Where are you in your?
So
You're popping off right now.
I started to kind of I had different stages of popping off, but this was probably the height of the pop off.
She's popped
yeah,
off high
yeah,
right here.
Yeah. So around summer of 2018, things really started clicking, and then we get to 2019, then WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Well, main event of WrestleMania.
So
Things were good.
things are really good.
Things were good. Yeah. Started seeing my husband now.
So this is a great year.
Of
Great year.
2019. Great year.
Great year.
Great
Fucking
year.
champ.
Everything's happening.
Hubby.
Everything's happening. Yep.
The year of Becky.
The year of the Becky.
I'm gonna declare it
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
All this time later.
All this time.
We're gonna retroactively
All
declare
this
it.
time.
In the sports world in 2018/19, NBA champions were the Toronto Raptors.
I remember that.
Do you?
Yep.
Are you an NBA fan?
Nope.
No?
Remember it.
But you lived in Canada and you saw a Canadian team won the world
There it
championship,
is.
so you probably
Yeah.
Yep. Giannis was the MVP of the NBA. You know who that is?
No.
The Greek freak.
Large Greek.
Ah.
Stanley Cup champions, the St. Louis Blues. You hockey girl?
No.
Any American sport?
So my husband's a big football guy.
Yeah.
So I've been getting into football, but mostly for the gossip. It's just like men's gossip, isn't it? They all get together afterwards and they're like, oh, and then did you see the catch off him? And it's great. I mean, they don't say it just like that, but the stuff that goes on, and then I get really into it because I love a bit of gossip, and people they shit on gossip, but it's just really it's storytelling.
Yeah.
This is my way to make it sound sophisticated. And storytelling is what we do as professional wrestlers. And it's the greatest way of communication. And really, what are we without our stories?
Amen.
Anyway, I love a bit of gossip. So I find that there's lots of gossip around football.
Who's your favorite football team?
I would be divorced if I didn't say the Bears.
Bears.
Yeah,
That's
go
why you
Bears.
said
Go Bears.
your husband
Bears.
must be from Chicago because when you said Chicago, you said it in a Chicagoan accent.
Iowa. He's from Iowa.
But
Yeah.
in that area.
In
You
that
said
area,
Chicago.
yeah. Chicago. Well, I lived in Chicago.
You live in Chicago?
Lived in Chicago, yeah, for nearly a year. Went to
That's-
college there.
It's freezing, huh?
Columbia, Chicago. Yeah, Yeah. I arrived there on the snowpocalypse. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
The snowpocalypse of 20. When was that?
Let me double check that one here.
2011. 2011.
2011.
2011.
Yep, Snowmageddon.
Yeah.
Snowmageddon. We had a big one in 14 in Boston. Or they had to cancel or they had to postpone our parade because we had like 2 feet of snow.
Oh no.
It's fucking gnarly.
We had a
Right,
whole
your parade.
winter's worth of record in like 3-week period. So it was a record for the whole winter, but all of it happened in like a 3-week period. It was nuts.
It was kind of like the snow
We were-
apocalypse.
Yeah, I was going to college,
Yeah.
Boston Common, and me and my roommate was a huge wrestling fan. So me and him, there was so much snow. Me and him were doing all kinds of moves with each other, like into the snowbanks.
Oh, that's great. Did anyone get hurt?
I think maybe some egos.
Oh, okay.
The old bruised ego.
That's why we say don't try this at home. That's the real reason.
What's your favorite town? What's the best wrestling town? Like with crowd?
In America?
Yeah, in America.
In
the
America.
world.
Or the world. Ooh, Santiago and Chile is pretty nuts.
San Diego and Chile?
Santiago and Chile.
In Chile.
Yeah,
Not
great.
in-
Great.
I never even heard of San Diego and Chile.
Santiago.
Santiago. Oh.
Santiago.
Santiago.
Yeah.
But he did once have chili in San Diego.
Huh?
He did once have chili in San Diego.
I did. I was thinking about
The
that.
Chileans love their wrestling. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, great.
Mexico does too, though.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. Gosh, where else? We're in Italy recently. That was awesome in Bologna, and they're a great wrestling town too. But in America, gosh, where is like number one?
The rowdiest fans.
Rowdiest fans.
Best arena.
Like you'll go to like, and this will be kind of more like house shows because we don't do a lot of TV there, but like Hidalgo in Texas, amazing crowds.
Wow.
Yeah,
Pulled it out of nowhere.
Everything's
Hidalgo.
bigger, baby.
Hidalgo. Yeah,
Jesus.
We had Shawn Michaels on, and he said he liked Anaheim.
Anaheim.
Shawn
Yeah,
Michaels.
Yeah.
You just a boy. I'm not your boy.
How great is Shawn Michaels?
He's the
So
best.
awesome.
Oh, Sean Rock.
Beast.
He was trying to get Jules
What a lad.
to do a little NXT situation.
Ooh, are you gonna?
Yeah. So I went down to Mexico City and did a documentary to promote an NFL game like in 2016. And we went down with the Lucha Libres or that's what they're
The
called.
Luchadors.
Luchadors. And they taught us a couple moves. We went and wrestled with them. So they taught us the one where I bounce off the rope and I grab his leg and I swing him down or with my
Like
legs.
A head scissors?
Head scissors.
Yeah.
We were doing head scissors. I would love to do that,
Oh,
but I don't know if I could. I got my body's pretty beat up, and I watch those things. How you guys?
so's ours.
I know.
Join the club.
See, we got it right there.
Wow.
We that guy was a badass. I forgot his name.
Jack, it took you a surprisingly quick time to pull that up.
Oh, it's my screensaver on my computer, bro.
That's
I
amazing.
just had to take a quick copy and paste. We're good.
That is incredible.
We had so much fun, but I that's when I gained the respect. I mean, I always have, but when I was out there like the next day, it's like, man, I banged my knee pretty tough. I got a little swelling in that bitch. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you guys are tough.
Well, you're already there, Like what's a little bit more gonna do?
Would I go heel or would I had to go heel? Because everyone hates the Patriots.
Yeah.
Everyone
Yeah.
hates the
Yeah,
Patriots.
easy. And it's more fun.
Yeah.
We already established that.
I'd have to go heel.
Yeah.
What would my move be?
I mean, allegedly a spinning head scissors.
I could do a spinning head scissors. But I need something cooler.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Flying
For
squirrel?
sure you
That was
do.
the
Yeah.
only one.
Jules' nickname is a squirrel, so something squirrel incorporated.
Flying squirrel.
Okay.
Come off the top rope.
Yeah. You
yeah,
could
I
do
can see
like
that.
a frog splash.
Frog
Call
splash.
it a squirrel splash. Or something.
Ooh.
Like a nut tap.
Yeah, you could add
Your
like a little
heel.
bit more squirreliness in there. Yeah.
I feel so bad. Like it just came brought to me. Did your brother do all the wrestling moves on you?
Yeah, kind of the other way around. Like,
Yeah.
So he was really good and I was awful. And like within 9 months, he was already teaching classes. Like he was great. And he's just one of those people that's a really great natural teacher of anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'll have this problem in just anything and he'll be able to figure out where I'm going wrong and be able to coach me into doing it better. And he would just let me practice on him in the back garden endlessly.
That's amazing.
Endlessly.
I thought about that because I used to just fucking rip my sister. I used to be the Undertaker. We're doing choke slams. I get her in a figure 4, sharpshooters. Because my brother used to do it to me, huh?
Is she younger? Or older?
Yeah, she's 3 years younger. My brother's 7 years older.
Oh, yeah.
So he used to fucking kill me with all those moves. And like, you know, when you're a kid, they're taking it to the whole other level. I'm over here tapping. He's not letting me out. Jack, why don't you set the stage?
All right, back to WrestleMania 35. Setting the stage here. This was a triple threat match. So we got Becky, Charlotte Flair, and Ronda Rousey. We're going to roll through like we do the teams. We'll roll through Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey first here. Charlotte Flair from Charlotte, North Carolina. Little known fact, daughter of Ric Flair. If you didn't know by the name, maybe.
Little known fact.
14-time world champion. Signed with WWE in 2013. You guys came up right around the same time, right? Becky kind of broke in around the same.
Yeah. We
You guys were girls, huh?
We did, yeah.
You
Best
guys
friends. We debuted on the main roster in the same group. Little.
Friends?
Yeah.
Till this night.
No, not really. Could kind of dissipated before then, but
Before.
but
Better for the match.
we were part of a little gal pal group called PCB.
PCB.
Yeah, Paige, Charlotte, Becky. Wasn't a
There it
very
is.
imaginative
Yeah.
name. No,
Acronym.
No, yeah,
PCB.
yeah.
Rolls off the tongue, though.
Yeah, rolls off
PCB,
good.
yeah.
Heck yeah.
What about
Yeah.
Ronda Rousey, Jackie?
I got to talk about Charlotte's moves here for a
Okay,
minute.
let's hear
She
these
does the
moves.
running knee jump just like her pops. She does that knife edge chop just like pops. Finishing moves, figure 4 and figure 8 leg lock, right?
Which the figure 8, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just the figure 4 with the bridge, yeah.
The
Yep.
bridge.
Pro talk. Yep.
Pro talk.
Should we get into Ronda here real quick? Ronda came over from the UFC, 12-2 in her MMA career, known as Rowdy Ronda Rousey, the baddest woman on the planet. She was also a bronze medal winner in judo. Had a little Olympic pedigree in there. Former UFC women's bantamweight champion. Made her debut in the ring the year before this with Kurt Angle at WrestleMania 34, I believe. So relatively new in her like in-ring experience, even though she'd kind of been making some little like cameos in the years before.
First
that.
WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Okay, it's fucking WrestleMania.
And she's the only woman to hold the UFC and WWE championship belts, as well as headline a pay-per-view event for both, which is pretty crazy distinction.
What was your perception of Ronda joining the WWE?
This is going to be great for business.
Yeah.
It's going to be great for business. And I think it showed how far we had come, you know, because like I said, when I was watching, if it was back in 2006, Ronda Rousey, who had done so much for women's martial arts and martial arts in general, UFC in general, if it was back where it was, I don't think she would have been interested. The fact that we had changed the game so much and we're seen as competitors and stars in our own rights, kind of, I think, made it more intriguing for her to come over here.
Yeah.
And she was going to bring a lot of eyes to the product.
She did.
Yeah, she brought a lot of eyes to the product.
I mean, that was, she was like one of the biggest woman stars in all of sport.
Yeah.
For, you know, her stint. And when she jumped over to the WWE, I was like, this match made in heaven. This is gonna make this weight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then that WrestleMania match 34, that was incredible. That was a great match.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think everybody was all aboard.
Yeah. How would you sum up Charlotte? Are we on good terms or are we bad terms?
No, we're fine now.
You want to just put her head into a fucking chair or something? Or are we,
No. I hold no grievances.
you just let me know.
Well, how about like from a craft perspective? How would you sum up Charlotte and Ronda's styles as like wrestlers?
I
She's
mean,
bringing in fist pumps. Ronda, like, I'm like, we gotta settle it down, coach.
So Charlotte, lots of poise, finesse, incredible athlete. Ronda, so quick to pick up the sport. You know what I mean? In terms of her experience and the application from how long she had been doing. Because professional wrestling is so different than martial arts. You know, it's such a different art form. It's and she adapted very well.
Thanks, Becky.
You're
Can we break
welcome.
down the next one? Can we break down the main event, please?
We got to talk about the third member of this triple threat match and our guest today. I'm telling this to the audience. Becky already knows this stuff. She lived it, but just for the audience, the high level on Becky from Limerick, Ireland, build out of Dublin.
Ireland.
AKA Big Time Bex, AKA The Man, AKA The Irish Lass, Kicker, AKA Made in Ireland, AKA, I think my favorite, Becky Two Belts, baby.
Becky Two Belts.
You know those signature moves, the disarmor, the manhandle slam, 11-time champ, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that's wrong, but I like that. I think it's 8.
Is it 8? Okay.
Yeah.
I know they count some like.
No, I think it's 8.
Okay.
But I like 11.
Let's go with 11.
It's my
I like
favorite
11.
number. So let's just do some revisionist
We like
history.
11 in this house.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Fact checking spot, but it's pretty close.
And the first woman to hold the Raw Women's Championship, the SmackDown Women's Championship titles simultaneously.
And the first part of the first Women WrestleMania main event
of all time.
Yep.
Ever.
Now, where does this nickname The Man come from? What's the story behind this?
Well, I'm in your sport, right? The top guy, what's he called?
Probably call The Man. I don't know.
Right. Like they're like, oh, he's the man. You're the man, man. You're the man. He's
You're
the
the
man.
top dog in your
Yeah,
sport.
yeah. I'm the top dog in my sport.
So you're the fucking man.
I'm the man. I'm the fucking man.
I fucking dig it.
I fucking dig it too.
When did you how did you hone down and develop your in-ring persona?
I was just a little pissed off, wasn't I? You know, like I was
I
just.
see the facial expression. You guys
Yeah.
you practice those?
No.
Just
That'd be wild.
I don't know.
I suppose maybe with my daughter, we're always playing games. She always wants me to be a lion or something.
So we get practice with daughter.
Yeah. You know, like I think everything was so circumstantial. I'd gone from being this career-long baby face of always being the good guy, always being naive, having that rapport with the audience, doing silly videos. Often, you know, people like this lovable goof, and then you know, I got screwed over one too many times, and then said I'm not taking it anymore. And I think a lot of people could relate to that. And people wanted to see me get my moment. They were sick of seeing me getting walked all over. And I was supposed to be the heel, the bad guy, when I turned, right? When I turned into the man, I suppose, what it ended up being. But like nobody thought that I was going to be the bad guy. Like the audience knew. The audience wanted me to have my moment. I knew that as soon as I was going to turn, they were just going to lose their minds. They were going to be happy. But I think there was a little bit of naivety from the part of the creative, which they thought that people would boo me if I turned on Charlotte. But Charlotte had been in the main title picture for a long time, and I think people it was just kind of a miscast in terms of where people's sympathies would be. People felt sorry for me on the run up. And then I turned, and then they were like, "Fuck yeah, Becky's gonna get her moment," and they didn't want to see Charlotte getting her moments anymore. They wanted to see somebody new, you know. And so anyway, it lended itself perfectly to me becoming the man.
Now,
Kind of went all over the place there.
but
I wasn't
when
very
when-
articulate.
it's okay. I'm always all
Might
over
need
the
more
place.
of my protein
This
shake.
all over the place kind of podcast. Now, the first time when you go from heel and you start feeling that audience starting to support you, that's got to be pretty fucking cool.
Well, yeah, they were already behind.
Already
me. They
behind
were
you. You're always
already
the
behind me.
underdog.
Yeah, I was the underdog. And they were already behind me, and then it grew. It like grew a life of its own from there. Like it was just, I don't know. It was this movement that we all felt part of, you know.
Yeah.
And then at Survivor Series in 2018, then I ended up getting my nose busted open in this invasion angle. A girl called Nia Jax punched me in the face by accident, but it ended up to be one of the coolest things that ever happened because I was totally concussed out of my mind, like just out of it. But I had like blood dripping down my face. I was still carrying on. I ended up like up top and on top of the arena with my hands spread out, the crowd losing their mind, blood streaming down my face. And it ended up being like one of these, for lack of a better term, an iconic-ish photo in wrestling, which I had nothing to do with, wasn't even aware of what was happening. And that kind of catapulted things towards going to the main event, because I was on the run up to, it was supposed to be me and Ronda at Survivor Series, but when that match couldn't happen anymore because of the broken nose and the concussion, then well, what better place for it to happen than at WrestleMania? And by then people were already so invested and they wanted to see it, and it was the match that made sense.
Wow.
When we were prepping for this episode and this whole run up that you had, we were kind of talking a lot how, wrestling is both theater and athleticism, and it's that kind of nexus of the both. And what's so interesting is it's got improvisation in a way that theater might not have, and maybe athleticism comes across as differently. But the fact that you kind of got hit in the face and you're bleeding, and you can, in that moment, you're feeling very physical stuff, but you're also telling a story. So what's going on in your brain and your process to here's an opportunity to use this and have that kind of actually, this thing that happened that no one could control, actually find its way into the greater story of that you guys are telling. What's it like in that moment? And did you know you had something when that was happening, or did it just the next day you wake up and be like, oh my God, that happened? Can you walk us through that moment a little bit?
Yeah, so it wasn't. So I wasn't very with it. So I wasn't aware of any. I wasn't going, oh, this is going to be so cool. I was just like, I remember getting punched and going, oh, I'm concussed. As I collapsed, And then I was like, okay, let me. And then I don't really remember anything apart from at one stage going out to get a chair, because I knew my spot was go out, get a chair, hit Ronda with it when she comes in. She was going to be coming out. And so her music hit, so I bailed, got the chair, doctor threw a towel at me. I wiped my face, threw it back at him, grabbed the chair and went in. And then I just remember the crowd going, after I hit Ronda, going one more time. And also being very cognizant that I was not with it and was like, let me do this safely, lest she also be concussed. And then just knowing that my spot was to go back up the ramp. And so it was just kind of in it, but not really in it, not really with it. And then I came through the curtain after because I was waiting for the red light to go off on the camera. So I was aware that I had to wait for the camera light to go off. And then I walked through, and then I was like, oh, where am I? Who are you? To the security guy. And then I was just completely out of it. And then I got text messages being like, "Oh my God, that was awesome!" And I was like, "Huh? Yeah. What was?"
So the first
what
time
happened?
The first time you see that picture, are you like, "Oh shit"?
Oh, I look so cool.
Yes,
Yeah.
That's such a badass pic.
Yeah, I'm such a badass.
Battle wound.
But in real
such
life,
a man.
I was
I'm the man.
backstage going, "Oh, what happened? Did I break my neck?" Yeah. I also didn't sound like that either.
Adrenaline goes a long
don't
way.
know what these voices are doing. I do love a voice. Anyway.
Jack, hit the match.
A little bit of the lead up to this one. We're talking WrestleMania 35. WrestleMania, the card's massive. 16 events this one. But Becky touched on it a little bit. The lead up to WrestleMania 35, we had the face smash on SmackDown with Rousey. We also had February, the suspension was big in the story leading up to this. With the knee injury. And then I think my personal favorite before it was in April. It was a SmackDown right before this, I believe, right when you're fighting under arrest.
Oh,
that was
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
It was the Raw.
The Raw, right. My bad.
It was the Raw. And I remember because of the SmackDown that happened the night after, right? Because SmackDown was still on Tuesdays. Then.
Right.
It was Tuesday night. And so I remember getting... On the SmackDown, I had to go cut a promo, but I was like, shouldn't I be in jail? So their way of countering that was the police officer. I had obviously charmed the police officer into dropping me off at the building because I showed up in a police car and got out and was like, thank you, officer.
Voice.
Again, didn't sound like that. I don't know. Anyway.
When you hear like, or that story is pitched, or however that comes across your plate, is that just like, this is fucking awesome, I can't wait to do it? Or like, how does it feel like when something so absurd of like everyone's going in and out of police cars in the backstage comes about? How do you process and deal with that?
Well, I think most wrestlers, I speak for us as a general population, when we get our creative, go, God, no, why should we do, no, God, that's so stupid. We all sound like that. That was accurate. And then, you know, someone will explain it to us, and then I'll go, oh, yeah, I guess that works. Yeah. It's awesome. That was all right. That was all right. Yeah.
Sounds like when they pitch me something.
I was going to say that. I'm glad you did.
Yeah, because your stuff is all fake too, right?
No. What are you talking about?
Scripted.
What are you talking about?
NFL
What are you talking about? Okay. Wait, yours is fake?
No. No, I was talking about yours.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know why you made that reference.
Oh man.
Can you?
Is it?
Huh?
Is it?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. Of course, scripted. Joking.
Don't come for us, Roger.
No, it's a huge thing going around that NFL is scripted. It's
No,
like
I know.
Yeah, but
So I
Becky
I
knows
love the gossip.
yeah, the
Exactly.
gossip.
I'm
Gossip.
up to date on my gossip.
Yeah, it's a big thing.
What's your favorite gossip in the NFL right now?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Is it Taylor Swift stuff?
That's kind of petered out a little bit, hasn't
a little
it?
bit until the
Well,
season starts.
I'm really waiting for the next season.
Off
I'm really,
season.
yeah.
Still off season.
Yeah. We're still in the off season.
You got to explain
The Kelsey brothers did get a new cereal though, didn't they? The
Kelsey's.
is it with the different cereals?
They
Are their
got cereal?
faces on a cereal?
I believe that.
I'm in a group thread of junk food.
Oh yeah, this is
Yeah,
brand
yeah.
new. This is 19 hours ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Breaking
Yeah.
news.
Wow.
Wow.
So that's my
We're talking
that's
gossip.
that's my
I thought you were
gossip.
gonna say
Cereal
something like,
Yeah.
This is at 19 hours ago.
Yeah.
Kelsey Mix cereal is being launched as a cereal that combines their 3 favorite brands. Whoa.
Which is
Which is Reese's Puffs, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Lucky Charms.
Wait, so they're gonna put all 3 together?
Yeah.
That's
Where do we stand on this? Would we try it?
No, you can't go peanut
course.
butter with Lucky Charms and
by the way
cinnamon toast. Those are 3 different complete flavors.
yeah.
Like if you go if you go with
Flavor
like a
explosion in your mouth, brother.
yeah. But if you're gonna go peanut butter, like a peanut butter Reese Puff, you should probably go with like a chocolate puff, or you can go with a Captain Crunch, something that's neutral.
No,
Cinnamon
but
Toast Crunch, you can't have cinnamon, chocolate, and marshmallow all in the same thing.
A lot going on. in there.
100% you can't.
Oh, is that what they do in Ireland?
Isn't that like a s'more? Isn't that a s'more?
S'more is
Isn't that a
graham cracker,
s'more?
chocolate,
Oh.
marshmallow.
Isn't a graham cracker kind of cinnamon?
Yeah.
Little hint of cinnamon?
I think Becky's onto something here. Oh my God.
Lucky
Schooled
Charms.
you,
Kinda-
son.
It's kind of like
Total mind blow.
this is bullshit. Oh, actually,
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like when they pitch you the thing.
What kind of
Yeah, exactly. Look at that callback.
Now, can you explain to the listener how fucking big WrestleMania is?
It's like the Super Bowl for wrestling.
It's a Super Bowl.
It's a Super Bowl for wrestling.
And this specific one was even bigger than just a Super Bowl. It was Kurt Angle's last match, Dave Bautista's last match, first time
Kofi Kingston?
Kofi Mania.
Kofi
It was also Kofi
gone.
Mania.
Like
Big
this
Patriots fan from
Huh?
Massachusetts.
Yep.
Kofi.
is,
Colin Jost, SNL guy in the Battle Royale, wearing a Cleveland Browns jersey for some reason. And Seth Rollins won the Universal Championship this night.
Can you take us through the moment? Can you take this because this is a big thing. Can you take us through the moment when you first found out you were gonna headline WrestleMania 35?
Yeah.
Who'd you call? How excited were you? Like this is, I mean, we talked about 7 years ago when you're coming into mom's house with banged up eye, going to fucking everywhere around the world. Now you're literally doing what you didn't even imagine to be able to do because it has never been done. You're the pioneer for this. How that had to be fucking amazing.
Yeah, it was incredible. It was incredible. I was driving from Buffalo, New York to Boston.
Route 90.
Route
Yeah.
90.
Yep. You know it.
Pike.
Yep.
Yeah.
6-hour drive? 6-hour drive. We had an early show, right?
Could be a little higher.
Cruising.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, I was cruising. But I stopped and I had like a little dance party in the car. And then I told Colby, my boyfriend at the time, now husband. He was the first person I told. which was probably insensitive, which was very insensitive of me because he was also hoping to be the main event of WrestleMania that year.
Nah, it's different.
Oh.
How did he take it?
How did he take it?
So like I've said, my husband's a no seller. So I said, we're gonna main event WrestleMania, and he goes, that's interesting. Well, like no, he said it. He was like, well, because normally they don't announce what the main event is, and I think up until that point they actually hadn't. He was right; they never actually announce it beforehand. Nowadays, everybody just says they're the main event of WrestleMania, and then we'll see what happens on the day. But it was a bit of a stab to him, you know.
Yeah,
I should have handled it more sensitively.
What went into planning this match? Like, you get the call, and then break us down on preparation, emotionally, physically,
and then
mentally.
Oh my gosh! Like, then the week running up, like, my husband was just the best. Like, I was just so nervous, scared, and would, he would just counsel me and remind me that it's not about the wrestling, it's not about the moves, it's about the emotion, it's about the story being told, and which is what it is, and we were already there. We already had the crowd, we already had them hooked by the story, and it was just a matter of going out there and doing the damn thing. But we didn't really get to plan the match until the day of.
Oh, whoa.
And even then, like, the show had because this was a historical match, everybody had media. So we were always being dragged in different spots. So we didn't really have anything up until maybe an hour before we went out. And the other thing was, I don't think Ronda had never been in a triple threat match before. And they're kind of nuanced in your way of structuring them, and in terms of how many people should be in a ring. Yeah. So we didn't get to walk over all of those details beforehand. But we went out there, and the crowd had been sitting through about 8 hours of wrestling at that stage.
Wow. It was after midnight.
It was after midnight.
Yeah.
It was after midnight when we went out there. So it was a long night, but the crowd were still with us. They were just chanting Becky the entire time.
Yeah, you were definitely the man of that crowd.
I was the crowd favorite to win, and they were all still there. I think that was the thing. Nobody's going to leave a WrestleMania, but at that hour, I think the trains had shut down. Like, everybody ended up being stranded after this because it started raining and nobody could get out. It was a whole disaster. But anyway, in that great moment, the crowd just kept chanting Becky all night until I won.
So you fucking got
Till I
it.
won.
So epic.
The shoulders down.
Kind of.
Reversing the Piper's pin.
Yeah.
They tried to get you on the move, and then you pulled a quick one.
So they were down-ish.
They were down, baby, for 3.
Look, it's not my job. It's not my job to look for the shoulders being down. It's my job to listen for the 3 count, and it was there.
I mean, the ref's going to call what the ref calls.
The ref's going to call what the ref calls.
So in that moment, like, not to skip ahead, but
Oh,
just
no,
because
no,
you kind of brought it up, you're sitting on the middle of the match, or the ring, middle of MetLife. Like, you got the thing. You're now at the top of wrestling. You are officially the man. Like, as a entertainer, as an athlete, as just a human, what's going through your mind in that moment?
Well, I think the whole day, everybody.
Are you exhausted? You got to be exhausted.
I don't think I was exhausted just yet, but everybody kept saying, "Soak it in, soak it in, soak it in, soak it in." So I'm just going, "Am I soaking it in? Am I soaking everything in?" Soaking it in,
Full soak.
So I was just very cognizant of soaking it in. Yeah. So I was soaking it in, soaking it in.
And to clarify here, this was the Raw Women's Championship belt over one shoulder, and the SmackDown Women's Championship belt over the other shoulder. Yeah. That's what was on the line, baby.
Yeah, very heavy.
We've had a lot of championships on this couch, and we always ask, "How did you celebrate it?" Champagne. What are we doing? Are we going crazy, or are we back on the road?
No, my husband had bought me a bottle of Don Julio.
Ooh,
yes.
hubby.
Yeah, baby.
So we got back to the hotel, I think around 2 or 3. Had a few shots of tequila, went to bed, had to be up at 5 in the morning to go do media. And then I had Raw the next day. So that was it. That was the celebration.
The grind don't
Turn
stop.
the fucking
Yeah.
page. We gotta go.
Yeah, then we gotta go, and then we gotta do Raw the next night, and that was it.
Man,
And then just the show keeps going.
the show.
Like doing the Super Bowl and then having a
Well, we get 3 months off.
and
Well,
then
not 3
having
months off,
a
but you get-
pre-game the next night or whatever it is.
So I've experienced that when when I got Super Bowl MVP, I didn't get to go out and go crazy because the next day they fly you immediately to like Disney World
Oh,
to do all the like 3 hours of media at Disney World for that whole thing. So you got to keep it going.
yeah.
Got to keep it going.
Can't take the foot off the gas.
Can't
Can't stop, won't stop.
shake it down. We get down. We get down.
Mm.
You know that song?
No.
Can't stop, won't stop. Shake it.
Rockefeller Records.
Jack, why don't you
Right.
take us to this match?
We'll rewind a little bit. I know we flash forward a little bit, but just to set the stage here a little bit and give some clarity to this one. This is a triple threat match. No DQs, right? First one to get pinned or submitted wins, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just want to make sure I got
Yeah.
that right and got it out there. So everyone knows the rules we're operating under here. Started out, we were watching last night. Ronda's throwing punches crazy early.
full punch-
Full punches.
Like, sir.
Like
refs.
what? Yeah, what? Bro,
What happened to clinch?
I know.
Clinch and a fucking slap.
Yeah.
We were throwing haymakers.
It's a triple threat, no DQs.
the
you
no
know?
DQs, so
I mean,
she
but also
clearly
that's
was-
not that that's a DQ.
Ronda
anyway.
was clearly toting the line. Keep it going, Jack.
Big time, big time. And then after we get that, we got some fighting outside the ring. We're back in the ring.
Becky brings in table. You
Oh.
brought in the table?
Yep.
What was the table choice? Because of all the props, did your mind go table right away? Or would you have picked?
What does the crowd chant?
Okay.
They don't chant,
Table.
we want
That's true.
chairs. They don't
Table.
chant, we want kendo sticks.
Table.
They don't chant, we want slides. They chant, we want tables.
Got to give the people what they want.
Well, they go, we want tables.
We want table.
tables.
We want. I haven't been in a while. I went when I was
yeah,
like
we
7
gotta
years
work on
old. But
that
I don't
cadence.
remember. At the
That was the last time.
yeah.
Wow.
So there was this place called it was in Redwood City where I was from. Was it the Circle K or no? It was like
Gas station?
no, it was some circle. It was an old arena. They went there. My dad took me.
Tight.
My brother.
And you haven't been since.
haven't been since.
we gotta get you
I gotta
out
get
to
my
a
daughter
show.
too.
Yeah.
I gotta get her because
I'm trying to go.
she likes. Speaking of retirement, she always talks about John Cena because of the fucking Scooby Doo movie.
Oh, okay.
And she'll ask me and she doesn't call him John Cena. She calls him the John Cena.
Oh, I love it.
So she goes, Dad, do you know the John Cena? I'm like, I met him once at a Super Bowl thing. I was like, I've met him. He goes, so you're friends with the John Cena? I go, no, I'm not friends. But so you say you met the John Cena?
I love it.
How crazy is it he retired, huh?
Oh, he's the best. man.
Yeah.
He's the best.
Is he someone you look up to for maybe
Yes.
post wrestling? Because like in my field with football, there's guys like Michael Strahan that you look at who does Good Morning America. He does all this. He's done some great things after football. He's used his football platform to take himself into a whole nother level. Do you look at that with like Cena or is that an inspiration of something you want to do after maybe?
Yeah, John's he's just done everything fantastically well. He's handled his wrestling career with such class, and now his acting career and just everything he does just turns to gold. But he's just such a great human being.
Yeah.
I think like his mindset is always like I always ask him about it, because he's so level, right? He's so calm. He thinks deeply about things, and he's always there if you need advice or whatever else. He just has time for people. He's just an all-around good dude.
He seems like it.
He is.
We're
Shout out to the John Cena.
we've been talking to people about getting him on the show. So Jules, if you could say something really nice about John Cena, it'd be awesome.
My daughter loves you. Come on, dude.
Hell yeah, and from Massachusetts.
In Massachusetts.
So my daughter loves him because of Ferdinand.
Which
Ferdinand,
one's that?
the bull one. You know
Oh,
the bull.
yeah.
Yeah. She
Mini-
calls it Birdman. Birdman.
He needs to get back in the lab and make Peacemaker season 2, baby. I like him in
I
Peacemaker.
think he is, right?
Yeah,
I think he
it's
is
been
right
forever.
now.
I'm waiting.
Yeah.
Getting old over here, John.
John Cena,
now say
actually,
something
he
nice.
humbled me, though.
You're the man, John Cena. We love you. Come on the show.
He humbled me because, me and Lily will always flex and stuff. And she goes, Dad, are you bigger than John Cena? And I go, no. It was the first time she looked at me and asked that someone was bigger than me. So thanks, John. Make me feel like a little human in front of my daughter. Come on. Games with names. Can we get the legacy of this game, Jack? I'm sorry.
Oh,
We got anything to wrap up on this match?
We know what happens in the end. Becky wins it, captures both belts. And then
Crazy move, too. The like
Crazy
reverse thing where Ronda tried to get you and then you fucking pinned her with your legs all clinched up on her and stuff. That's gnarly.
Little crucifix action.
Crucifix.
Yeah, call that a crucifix.
so sick.
Question for you. There was a moment where you two had Ronda over the ropes and like she like fell down.
Oh,
she
yeah,
Yo, the drop kick moment. I wanted to do
drop
it.
kick?
Looked
I wanted to
nasty.
spend an hour on that drop kick. That was
Looked
so
nasty.
epic.
Yeah, what happened there? Is that just part of the business? Is this
Yeah,
what
I
happens?
think Ronda was like, yeah, I'm leaving afterwards. Let me go home. And she did.
That was epic.
Yeah, good
oh
on
my
her.
gosh. So many great moments in this match. And then the aftermath, as Becky noted, it was on the road the next day. We got Raw the next night. And this Lacey Evans comes out here with the pearls and the white gloves and attacks Ron on Raw the next night. Wasn't that right? She was like coming at you?
Yeah, she punched
Or I mean,
me.
attack Becky, sorry.
Yeah, she punched me. Yeah.
Not
But
cool, bro.
Yeah.
And then in May, Charlotte would take the SmackDown belt back.
Yep.
Becky held.
Thanks again to Lacey Evans.
What is
with
with
the
the-
cheap shot?
Yo, I'm not a big Lacey Evans guy. I don't know. Coming out of the
That's not
woodwork all the
anymore.
time with these
Yeah.
cheap shots. Not for me. Not for me.
Nah.
Nah. And the persona, not for me either.
Wasn't for her either. She's not wrestling anymore.
Seeing that, can I just derail us here with one question that has been on my mind when I saw Lacey Evans and talking to Becky, who's wrestled all around the world. What is the most outrageous persona you've seen that just still sticks with you? You're like, oh my God.
In terms of
Like
characters,
any other,
wrestling
like, yeah.
characters.
That
Oh
you're just
gosh,
like, oh,
I don't
geez.
know.
Like even like a failed wrestler.
Oh, I don't know.
They're just an insane persona.
She
don't know.
can't throw anyone under the bus.
I know, but
yeah.
I ain't asking to name names, but
Yeah.
it's just on my mind.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know that. I don't know anything that comes to the top of
I
my
feel
brain.
I feel you.
Who's your Mount Rushmore of wrestlers?
That's a tricky one. That's a tricky one because there's different Mount Rushmores, right? Like are you talking wrestler? Like is
Mount
it
Rushmores?
right? Well, no. I'm saying in terms of like, what are you talking about? Are you talking about as a star, as a wrestler, as an in-ring performer, as a promo?
Star,
We're just talking overall.
overall star.
But then you go like effect to the business.
I mean, you got to be on there. So who are
Yeah,
the other
screw
three?
it. I'll put myself on
Yeah,
there. I'll
You
also,
should.
Yeah,
It's fucking first one ever.
yeah,
Man does what the man wants.
yeah. I'm also gonna put my husband on there.
He's on there.
Yeah, of course.
Got 2 more
Yeah,
slots.
great. Let's put the John Cena on there.
The John
I'm
Cena.
just never gonna be able to not call him the John Cena. I love it. I love it. And then like, gosh, I don't know. Do you go in terms of what they've done for the business and the attention? Like I go, is The Rock on there?
Is The Rock?
Is Stone
Is this
Cold on
Mick
there?
Stone Cold?
Mick Foley?
Mick Foley is just a real life baby face.
Undertaker?
Yeah, we love. Yeah, you know.
Andre the Giant?
How about one name, one wrestler whose craft is just the best that there is? They maybe not be the biggest
Bret
star
Hart.
or have the
Bret
biggest
Hart.
thing.
Bret
but just
Hart.
Their craft as a wrestler.
I mean,
Bret
yeah,
Hart was
you
fucking
could
good,
you
wasn't
could
he?
look at Bret Hart. You could look at Eddie Guerrero.
Eddie Guerrero.
You know, yeah. You could look at Dean Malenko.
So the
I mean,
greats
there's
all come
there's
from.
many. Kurt Angle is great in
Last
ring.
match.
What did this match do for women's professional wrestling?
I think it blasted through a glass ceiling. You know, it showed that we can be the headliners. That we were going towards there anyway, but and we had been there, I suppose, for a while. That we were no longer the side act, but now it was that we can be the headliners.
Fuck yeah.
We can be the headliners. We can be the main draws.
That's amazing. Any leftover questions, Jackie?
I think we got to it all. That was awesome match to relive.
Now, what do we call this match? We got the triple threat. We got Becky 2 belts. We got the man event. We got the man at the Met. Which one do
I
you
like
like?
Becky 2 belts.
Becky
I
2
like that.
belts.
Yeah.
Becky 2
I like
belts.
Becky 2 belts.
Score of the game. Is this the greatest game of all time? Let's score it. Stakes 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, decimals okay. What are the stakes of this match?
Winner takes all. So
Winner takes
let's say high stakes.
High stakes.
High stakes.
High stakes.
10 is high.
10 is the highest.
10 is the highest. Okay, 10.
10. Star power.
10.
No,
10.
Jules, you got to score.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, my score, I'm going to go 9-5.
9-5.
Big moment in history.
Well, what was missing? What was the point deduction?
There's no perfect stake.
Oh wow.
There's
Jack
no
had
perfect.
8.3. I had 7.2.
What's the stakes? What
There's some deduction for
for?
some things, happen organically in the world and it's competitive, and some things are theater. But I think
Yeah,
know,
but
the
we're
first women
yeah, but we're
event
yeah, but
in
we're talking
WrestleMania,
yeah, but we're talking in this world. We're talking the stakes of this world. We're not talking in the global world.
I always talk in the global world, the sporting world. This is against
Aren't
Super
you
Bowls,
philosophical?
Miracle on Ice. There's geopolitical things happening.
If you don't settle down over there.
Jack,
I kind of want to change
think-
my
All right,
score and bump it up.
Aristotle over here.
I think we need to throw Kyler through the table.
I'll shoot that with you after this. Let's do it.
Star power, 1 to 10.
10.
10.
10. Jules.
I mean, there's some pretty big star power. You think about it. We got Becky here, Becky Lynch. She was clearly crowd favorite, wrestling favorite at that time. Ric Flair's daughter.
After this match, what was it? What was the word? She said that Ric Flair is now her dad.
Yeah. It was kind of fucking, that's badass. And Ronda Rousey. So
Both
I'm going to
statements
go,
can be true.
I'm going to go with a 9.1.
9.1. Jack
The
had
deduction was for the other guys, right?
Obviously.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
They
Jack
bring
has
the
a
bill down.
8.9, and I have an
can't
8.1.
fucking- getting healed right now.
What's your deductions
I'm getting
for?
picked on. I'm getting bullied right now. I feel like I'm getting healed.
Hey, there's got to
Yeah.
be a heel. There's got to be a heel. Every podcast needs a heel.
I mean, jeez. Gameplay of this, the match, how it went.
We'll give it a 7.
7.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good. We brought a table in. We had that fucking back kick that you did where Ronda Rousey almost was fully concussed. And I can't believe she actually tucked her neck good enough for it. On the asphalt was pretty tough. There was a couple throws into the sidewalls.
Flip off the top rope.
Flip
That was
off
so
top
epic.
ropes. Couple times. The double Sammy. For me, I'm going to go 8-1.
I like the decimals. Can I get a decimal?
Yeah, there were decimal in there.
It's 0.5.
Nice.
No,
7.5.
that's too predictable. 0.3.
Yeah.
Love it.
7.3.
Jack did 8.3. I did an 8 for gameplay.
The name, Becky, 2 belts, 0 to 10. You got to score the name.
The name?
The name.
Oh, 10.
Yeah.
10.
I mean, it's pretty good. I'm going to go with a 9.
Jack has a 6.7.
Never
I
given
have a
a 10,
5.5.
You can't bully me into into this, Becky.
I went too low.
That's low.
It's cultural relevance.
What?
It's still early. If you talk to me in 10 years when this match still matters.
It is going to matter for the end of time. The first time women ever main event of WrestleMania. What are you talking about?
Get
I'll
'em.
go to 6.5.
What are you talking about?
The
Why
Russian
will
judge.
this matter?
The Russian
Wait, hold on.
judge.
Why will
Russian
this
judge.
matter?
I had a
Russian
note.
In
judge.
35 years.
Judge.
I had a note.
Russian
Hold on.
judge.
People didn't
We
think it was
want
possible.
table. We want table.
I had a note I wanted to say. For stakes, Jack had an 8.3. He also scored a Game 7 of a Stanley Cup final as a 7.9. So just putting it out there.
Hey, I'm unpredictable.
I like your
Kind
style.
of like a bad boy.
That's pretty good.
It's
Pretty good. That's pretty good.
This is
8-4
gonna be real high.
It's going to be real high on the scores.
Oh, wow.
So 8.44 is just below the 18-1 Super Bowl Patriots Giants.
Patriots, Giants.
Right below that and right above the Bush Push Week 6 2005 season USC
Bush
versus
is that
Notre
high?
Dame.
Too high. Too
Yeah.
high.
It's got a great fucking name though.
Yeah.
So that's ahead of some Super
That's-
Bowls.
You're ahead.
That's ahead of UFC.
You're in some
Khabib
high,
versus McGregor.
high regards here.
That's even above the Iron Man match. The Iron Man match, 8.04, Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart.
Okay.
It's higher. That's up there. It's
I mean, well, a
13th.
lot of it is just really like your own ego in terms of how high you score. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure that this isn't really an official ranking. It's me going 10, 10, 10. You know what I mean?
This is-
Like
no,
if I'd made more 10s for myself.
I'm pretty sure this is actually
was only-
used by Guinness.
Oh, right. Okay.
The Guinness book.
You know that I'm also a Guinness World Record holder for playing video games
Are
What?
you?
on the
Are you a
largest
gamer?
screen. No.
Oh, you played at
Right.
MetLife?
No.
Where?
In Vegas somewhere.
Oh, you played on the
On,
Sphere?
on this really large screen in Vegas. Played Pac-Man.
That's tight.
Who'd you play?
Bianca Belair.
Whoa.
Was it hard?
It's
I like
Pac-Man.
usually smaller. I like smaller screens.
Yeah.
Big-
Yeah, but I wasn't going to get a Guinness record for playing on a small screen.
27-inch monitor.
You can play the world's smallest screen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try.
There you go.
Becky, did we miss anything?
I don't think so.
What do you want to plug?
Oh, my book.
Autobiography?
Autobiography. Yeah. My
What's the name?
autobiography. The Man.
The Man
Becky Lynch.
by Becky
Not
Lynch.
your average girl.
Not your average girl. Everyone go out and get this book. Where is it available? Everywhere?
Everywhere you buy books.
Everywhere you buy books, you can get The Man, the story behind Becky Lynch. It's unbelievable story, underdog story, a lot of emotions, mental, physical things she had to overcome. Spectacular. It's been an unbelievable time to get to meet you, and it's been an honor to have you here in the Nut House talking about WrestleMania 35. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much. Thanks for
It was
having me.
amazing.
Great chat.
Thanks, Becky.
Thanks.
Man, that was awesome.
She's great.
Like,
That was so fun.
my voice hurts from doing.
From doing Macho Man. Cup of coffee in the big time. Cup of coffee in the big time. Yeah, Jackie. Jackie, when I see Jackie do the Macho Man Randy Savage, it makes me feel that one brother is coming and connecting with another. And then we go and we use those two hands and we knock out Kyler. The Macho Brothers. Oh, yeah.
And then the guy's always like, so, to sum it up, Gene's livid. Seems to be mad at something.
Shout out Mean Gene. Oh my, that was awesome. Becky rocks.
That was fun. That was absolutely fun.
Shout out Ireland.
We put out a call, so we're going to read some of your reviews on Apple Podcasts. Keep them coming.
Especially if they're 5 stars.
Yeah, right. Whatever you want. Could be funny, but 5. Let's get into some of these, Jackie.
All right.
We trying to look like Alabama out here, man. We want all 5 star.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, brother. Hellcats in the parking lot. We don't care. We'll give you the bag, baby.
Give you the bag. We'll give you Ferraris. We'll give you hella things.
Should we read through it? We pulled a handful of these.
NIL, baby.
Some fun ones.
Games with names.
We'll do this again, so write some
We should
more.
NIL some kids.
Oh, I'm down.
Games with names.
Yeah, you got the 8 games with names.
Any
NIL
any
bump.
of you players that watch this in college, we want to give you money so you can give us some swag or
Yo, wear games with names merch. Like
yeah,
into
we'll
the
give them
tunnel.
a game with name merch.
We'll start a
So
collective.
if any call, it's got to be. Come on now, let's go. That'd be fun. Make a sick sweatsuit. Games with name sweatsuit. If you're a sweatsuit
Ooh.
athlete, I'm talking like Al
Ooh.
Davis shiny sweatsuit type shit.
I like that.
We'll bring it back. All right, let's go to this post
think we're onto
segment.
something.
Let's see what these Apple
All right,
comments.
we pulled a handful of these comments. I'll read them out, and then as a room, let's react to these. See if we
It's a good idea.
share the sentiment here. First one comes to us from Pooty Allen. Shane Gillis / Notre Dame is the heading. We got a 5-star review. Please get Shane on to talk about one of his favorite Notre Dame games. I'm sure there are about 10 he could choose from. Nothing I love more than hearing the dog talk ND football.
Shane Gillis, big Notre Dame fan.
The
huh?
dog, I like that.
I mean, we just had Notre Dame has been in our stratosphere.
Also-
We talked about the one burned down today. We talked about Quasimodo a little bit in the
Yes,
episode.
Quasimodo.
Talk about the Bush push.
Bush push.
Yeah.
Cheers, cheers
Hella
for
Notre
old
Dame stuff.
Dame.
Jack got catfish last night, man. Teo.
Did you really?
No. Well, hey,
I don't know.
who knows?
Also, he went to Elon and played football at Elon.
That's right, baby. Phoenix, stand up, baby.
Phoenix Pride.
We can talk about the old West End, maybe Fat Frog. Got a lot of stuff to share.
So you chopped it up a little bit with at the roast, yeah?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was there. He
I
was
saw him
there.
Yeah.
Gotta
He was
love it.
awesome.
He was
Go
awesome.
fishing for Shane.
Go, Gay.
I mean,
Come on,
I
Shane.
hung out with Shane once when we went and visited Sam in
Yeah,
the
the cellar.
cellar.
Oh yeah.
We were at the cellar one night watching
remember that.
Sam do his bit, which, shout out to Sam once again. He just had his Amazon special come out, release. What is it? You've changed.
You've changed.
Yeah, it was funny. We just did his podcast
From
and
the Wilbur.
I did it at the Wilbur.
Yes.
Which we will be there at the Wilbur. So
Sam was warming it up for us.
warm it up. We were all getting hammered after one of those shows, and Shane Gillis was there, and he was such a cool dude.
Yeah, he was great.
There's a bunch of the comics, and I felt so I felt honestly, I wanted to be like Wayne's World where they had the VIP passes because I didn't feel like I belonged, but like I wanted VIP, we're VIP. I can just do all his comics.
You did get cornered a lot by Adam Freeland.
Yeah, Adam Freeland was loving you, bro.
Yeah.
He's cool.
Yeah, the comics love you, brother.
I love them.
Yeah. ELE, baby. Everybody love everybody. It's a love fest.
Everybody love everyone.
All right. Speaking of some love, we got another 5-star here from Mick Jagger 567-893 is the username.
Wait, I got a 1-star from who's this 1-star?
We'll get to that one.
Yeah, well, this guy sucks. But we like our man Mick Jagger 567-893. His caption: "Yo yo yo, I know you're an expatriate, and the Titans ended the Patriots dynasty." Huh?
Wait, where's this one?
But
that happened. The interception, Logan Ryan.
I don't know
turned
if
for a
I'm giving
touchdown.
It did.
That was
yeah,
kind
but
of
when I
it.
think the end of the dynasty, I don't think Titans.
I know, but it was.
I mean, it
looking
kind of
back
was.
now, it kind of was.
Yeah, whatever, Mick Jagger. Either way, he says, "Could you do the Music City Miracle?" I agree with that sentiment. That would rock.
Yeah, Music City Miracle was awesome. What was that? What was that? Wycheck?
That was Frank Wycheck, the cow play. Yeah.
Wycheck. I love freaking
Dyson.
McNair.
Dyson, Air McNair.
McNair was such
Steve
a fucking
Fisher
good
or
football
Jeff
Eddie
player.
George.
Eddie George.
Yeah, that
Eddie George was so long and strong.
Beast.
that Titans
I
team
remember
went to
on the
lose the
Madden.
Super
He
Bowl
was
that
Madden
year.
cover guy.
Yeah.
He was.
What year was that?
2002,
What was that? Oh,
2001 or 2.
I could have been there because I think that's when the Patriots beat them in 01 maybe, or was it 2000?
Madden was
2001.
Eddie George was 01 on the cover. That was a
01.
great Madden.
Because they went to
also.
the Super Bowl
2000.
this year and lost to the Rams at the
Yeah.
longest yard, which we did with Kurt Warner.
Yep.
Also, who played in this game? Well, not really played controversially, but Doug Flutie was backup quarterback for that game.
There you go.
Perhaps
right.
if he played, maybe they could have won.
Yeah, they would have. It was Brad Johnson.
Rob Johnson.
Exactly. See, we don't know that guy's name, but we definitely know Doug Flutie's name.
I've never had any Rob Flakes.
I've never seen Rob just randomly canoeing down a flooded street in Massachusetts on local TV
How you guys doing?
network.
All right, what do we got the next one
All
here?
right, coming up, we got this guy, Jake Dell, captioned "Unlistenable Voice." A 1-star review. Julian Edelman proves a point that everyone and their grandma just has to do a podcast. This guy has a voice that is 100% unlistenable. Please stop with your podcast promotions of no less than 20 per hour on iHeartRadio, as those too contain your unlistenable voice.
What does 20 per hour mean?
I guess the good news here is iHeartRadio,
He's promoting the show.
our buddies that we love,
Yeah.
is promoting the heck out of the show across all their other shows, which is great news.
There's some creative feedback in this one.
Yeah, we take them all. You take ones on the chin, you take ones on the butt.
All I got out of this was maybe
That didn't really make sense.
No,
It's like
know,
a
it
slap
makes
on the
sense.
ass,
You're
like
taking-
you're doing
you're
good. You take one on the chin.
That really sounded good.
So you're
it didn't
taking it on
really
the chin
sound
and the
that
butt.
good.
Wise.
He'll probably not like that one.
Rise, prophetic, very nice. I
Well,
will
he's
say,
got his name is Unlistenable Voice. What's his name?
Jake Dell.
his name is Jake Dell.
Jake Dell.
Jake Dell.
He
He was
ain't
gonna.
no Tank Dell. He ain't no Tank Dell.
He's gonna love
Is
that.
he Jake from the Dell commercials?
Dude, you're getting a Dell.
Dude, you're getting a Dell.
I will say, though, if he's all about this unlistenable voice talk, he doesn't know we do voices.
Yeah,
We do
like
Macho Man.
Man.
Oh, yeah. Jake Dell, I'm coming for you, brother. Cup of coffee in the big time. What you gonna put in that coffee there, Jackie? Ooh, how about some cream? Because the cream always rises to the top. Yeah. To the tippity top. Ooh.
All right, moving on.
You got it.
We got another one.
So
from-
hey, constructive criticism, welcome. 1 stars, not welcome. If you want to light Jules up, give a 5 star and say whatever you want. We'll read it.
All right, we'll breeze through these last two here. from a D. Stewart, a 5-star. We like that. With the caption, "Bring back Joe List." Bring back Joe List as guest host. The man is a sports savant and hilarious. He should be your permanent co-host for the show. Good to know that D. Stewart is Joe List's pen name, I guess.
Yeah, thanks for sending that in, Joe List.
Hyping himself in the comments.
Joe List.
Thanks for the review, Joe.
I love it. I love it. Got to get him
Joe.
back on.
All right, last one here,
Last but
Jack.
certainly not least, Jesse Cam _RN, the best podcast you aren't listening to yet. A 5-star review. Famed former Patriots wide receiver Julian Edelman is joined by Jack, his fact-checking producer, and calm, cool, cerebral
Who'd
Kyler,
be paid to buy it? Who wrote this?
who keeps them all in line in this surprisingly witty and entertaining podcast that will make a sports fan out of anyone.
Anyone?
In their quest to find the greatest game of all time, Julian hosts a range of guests from comedians, sportscasters, to former athletes, all there to lobby for their game to pick to be voted as the greatest game of all time. Ain't no lobbying going on. Well, maybe Mark Cuban with some 10s. Julian is charming and affable, surprisingly humble, and self-deprecating at times, all while getting his guests to open up and reveal insights into these games and their personal lives at the time. The show does have a recency bias in terms of the game selection. I would like to see some older games reviewed, but I understand that some of those players, coaches, and fans may no longer be available, but maybe an episode dedicated to some of the greatest games of the 50s, 60s in some sort of condensed way would be a cool listen. Love listening. Keep it up.
Wow.
Wow.
What a review.
Wow.
No 240 characters here, baby. Let it fly. Let it fly. How about give me the
Kyler.
Cliff Notes
I
next
think
time?
that's the first
Kyler.
time I've ever been called calm, cool, or cerebral.
Yeah,
Kyler,
Jesse
you-
is Kyler.
Kyler, Jack and I are both not impressed with these multi-syllable words that you use in this email that you
That
wrote.
neither
in
one of
this
us know what they mean.
Yeah. Okay, we are not impressed with this email that you wrote about the podcast, Kyler.
But Julian, you're so charming and affable and surprisingly humble.
I can fully see you doing that.
Kyler cracks
We
his
got to
fingers,
hit up
sits down
Matt
the
Light and
keyboard.
see if he can crack to see who wrote this. Matt Light will find out because it's probably Matt Light or something.
Yeah, I know. We need some
Probably Matt
reverse
Light.
search here.
I think Matt Light wrote this email. Man. Well, what a match. That was such a fun episode. Thanks again to Becky.
Go pick up Becky Lynch, the man, not your average girl, wherever books are sold.
Wherever books are sold. The Man by Becky Lynch.
She really was the man, too.
She was.
As advertised.
I'm a stan, man. I love her.
She was awesome. That's been another episode of Games with Names. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. Comment a game you want us to do. And remember,
Rate and review.
remember to follow Games with Names on YouTube, X, Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat. Leave a message at the hotline at 424-291-22. Those have been really fun. We'll see you guys next week. Games with Names is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.